In today's video, I'm going to share with you what 2 fruits we should never eat. But before we do this, guys, if you're new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button because I will be sharing a lot more videos about health, wealth, and happiness. Okay, so first of all, there are no fruits that we should never, ever eat. Okay, so this is something that I want to put out there first. There are no fruits that we should never eat, but there are certain fruits that maybe for you personally you should avoid. Maybe for another person, they might not have any issues with that particular fruit. And there are also certain fruits that you might want to avoid eating together, which I'm going to get into right after this. So first of all, let's talk about the list of fruits that you want to watch out for, that you may want to avoid. The first fruit on this list are fruits that are high in sugar. So we're talking about watermelon, pineapple. Yes, even though it's a tropical fruit, it's very delicious, it's very sweet, but it's high in sugar. So you definitely want to avoid these fruits if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, or if you are watching your sugar levels. You don't want to consume too much fruits that are high in sugar because it will spike your blood sugar rapidly. Now again, everybody is different. Some people, if they consume watermelon, it doesn't spike their blood sugar. So it really depends on your body. So if you've noticed that whenever you consume watermelon or pineapple, your blood sugar goes crazy, you might want to avoid these fruits. The next fruit on my list are the citrus fruits, okay? Like oranges, grapefruit, lemons. I know a lot of people cannot digest citrus fruits, okay? Because they're highly acidic. They might give you heartburn. They might give you indigestion. So if you are prone to heartburn, if you are prone to indigestion, especially at night, you might want to avoid having these fruits right before bed. For example, I know for me, if I consume an orange right before bed, it will give me heartburn. So you want to be careful with citrus fruits. Again, it depends on your body, but just keep that in mind. The next fruit on my list are bananas, okay? Because bananas have both serotonin and dopamine, and they're both stimulants. So bananas can keep you alert, can keep you awake. So if you have trouble sleeping, you've noticed that whenever you consume a banana, especially like 30 minutes to an hour before bed, it keeps you awake, then you might want to avoid having bananas too close to bedtime. Now, bananas are great to consume in the morning because it will help you wake up. It will give you energy. But if you have trouble sleeping, you might want to avoid it right before bed. Next fruit on my list are fruits that contain caffeine. So we're talking about guava, kiwi. These fruits, even though they're very healthy, they have a lot of nutrients, they also contain caffeine. And again, caffeine is a stimulant. So you definitely want to avoid having these fruits, especially before bed, because it will interfere with your sleep. It will make you feel more alert, it will make you feel more awake, and you might have trouble falling asleep. The next fruit on my list are fruits that are high in potassium. So if you're not careful, it could be very dangerous, especially if you already have kidney problems, because too much potassium is not good for you. So if you have any kidney problems, please talk to your doctor about which fruits you should avoid. But in general, we don't want to combine acidic fruits with fruits that are very sweet. So for example, if you have grapefruit, let's say you want to have a fruit salad, you want to have a mix of different fruits. You don't want to put grapefruit and bananas together because grapefruit is very acidic. Banana is very sweet. When you put them together, they can ferment in your gut. They can cause gas, bloating, stomach pain, diarrhea. And usually it happens when you're combining different types of fruits together that are not easily digestible. So the fruit that are hard to digest are the ones that I'm talking about, that you want to avoid putting together in a fruit salad. But in general, if you have grapefruit, you don't want to put it with bananas or any other fruit that is extremely sweet. You want to put it with fruits that are not as sweet. For example, you can put it with apples, with berries. Berries are great with grapefruit. Now let's talk about papaya and lemon. There is an article from Healthline, okay? And it states that you shouldn't eat papaya and lemon together. Why? Because papaya contains a powerful enzyme called papain. It helps break down protein. It's actually used to tenderize meat, so if you're eating papaya and lemon together, it can cause serious digestive problems. That's why you don't want to combine these 2 fruits together. and it can be dangerous, especially for children. So if you're making a fruit salad for your child, you want to avoid putting papaya and lemon in there. And finally, we have melons. Okay, so melons, you really want to avoid mixing them with other fruits. Just eat them alone or with other melons. Why? Because melons contain a sugar called fructose. It's a special type of sugar that is not digested by most intestinal bacteria. It's not broken down by your body, so it passes through your digestive tract undigested. So when you're combining melons with other fruits, it slows down the digestion of the melon itself. And again, you don't want to have undigested foods that are sitting in your gut for too long, because it can lead to excess gas and bloating and abdominal discomfort. So you want to avoid mixing melons with other fruits. Just eat them alone or with other melons. Okay, so this was my list of fruits that you want to be careful with and avoid mixing together. But remember, everybody's different. You may have a friend and they might tell you, "Oh, I can eat this fruit and I have no problem." But you try it and you have a reaction to it. So you really want to pay attention to your body, listen to your body, see how your body reacts to certain fruits. That's the best way to know which fruits you should avoid. Also, even though some fruits are considered unhealthy, like for example mangoes, bananas, avocados, if you're consuming them in large quantities, so even the healthiest food, if you're consuming it in large quantities, it can cause issues. So you always want to eat everything in moderation. And remember, sometimes you might have a fruit and you think that fruit is absolutely fine for you, but if you're consuming it at the wrong time of the day, it might not be good for you. For example, I mentioned earlier that bananas have both serotonin and dopamine, which are both stimulants. So if you're consuming bananas at night, it can keep you up, it can keep you awake. But if you're consuming it in the morning, it can give you energy, it can give you a boost of energy. So sometimes it depends on the time of the day that you're consuming the fruit, and sometimes it depends on what you're combining the fruit with. For example, I mentioned earlier about the grapefruit and the banana. So if you're combining grapefruit and banana together, it's not good for you, but you might be able to tolerate it if you're having them separately. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.